I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't be seeing that correctly. Let me get my glasses on. And sure enough, I am really looking at this. Yesterday, Twitter, someone posted this that they've got a 2023 Sierra 2500 Denali, $3,000 a month for 96 months. Now, I don't know who originally posted this, if this was the dealer or the actual victims of this gouging. But let's look at this. Let's just do some, just some basic math. Now, 96 months, that's 8 years. That's 8 years. So let's look at this. Go over to DuckDuckGo. 12 months a year times 8 years times $3,000 a month. $288,000 they're going to spend on that truck. Are they converting it into a home where they can live and work and poop and take showers? $3,000 a month. 8 years. Let's go back 8 years. A used 2016 GMC Sierra 2500 is now worth $43,000 at a dealer. I put Texas. I put Houston, Texas, because we can see here it shows that it was in Texas somewhere. So I just picked Houston. But let's just look at this. 2016, surprisingly, it was less than 60,000. The price today is 83,000. Now, the reason why the Kelley Blue Book is 42,000, because you look at that, you go, wow, 42,000. It hasn't really taken that much of a hit, considering that it was 58,000. What's really happening is because of what happened with the pandemic and what have you, which totally screwed up car prices. And this being 42,000 is actually a reflection of the new ones being worth 83,000. But this wasn't the only genius. This person flexing on their 84-month 2550 for a 2023 Tahoe. That's $214,000 over those 84 months. As someone posted, what's with this trend of people posting their garbage deals at dealerships? Nice flex. Well, the deal is that the real pandemic is how stupid people have gotten. Welcome to the Retired Banker YouTube channel. I am James, your host, the Retired Banker. If you like looking at financial and political news that has to do with your pocketbook, if you like to look at current events, also get information about personal finance, banking, entrepreneurship, business, and money in general, you've come to the right place. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that you hit the like button on this video, and share the link on social media and hit the notification bell. Now, we are in an election year, which means they must spin garbage financial news as a win for the incumbent administration. Doesn't matter which administration is in power. We know that it's the economy, stupid. Now, we were blessed not so long ago to have an actual really good economy where everyone was thriving. And when we say everyone, we mean everyone that is industrious and is working and is investing and is doing their part. And obviously, you can't guarantee that everyone does well. But when a majority of the people are in a better situation, that is a good economy. That's not the case right now. With inflation and the true numbers, we see that people are suffering. But because it's an election year, the spin is in overdrive. Let me show you a tweet from Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge asked on January 15th, 2024, after we got these garbage numbers, these total lie numbers from the government about employment, how is this not the biggest political talking point right now? Since October 2019, native-born U.S. workers have lost 1.4 million jobs. Over the same period, foreign-born workers have gained 3 million jobs. Now, of course, if this alarms you, then they are going to paint you as being an extremist on one end of the political scale. They'll call you a protectionist, they'll call you xenophobic, or what have you. But let's just look at these numbers. Almost 1.5 million jobs lost by American citizens, yet 3 million gained by foreign workers. Now, we're not talking that all these foreign workers actually came here legally either. A huge portion, if not a majority of those, let's be honest, are illegal immigrants. But don't worry, don't be xenophobic, they're going to tell you. Oh, they're not going to tell you. They're telling you right now because it's an election year. This is actually good for the economy, you xenophobe. Paul Krugman, all this is short run. Add in huge long-run benefits from immigration and helping us pay for Social Security, Medicare, and so on. Immigrants are really good for the U.S. economy, and nativists are really bad. Oh, immigration is good because they pay into Social Security, Medicare, and so on. Oh, except if they're illegal immigrants. Now, some illegal immigrants actually do pay into these systems because they are illegally using Social Security numbers that are valid. But they are working in very, very low income jobs, and therefore they are using social programs to tide them over. So they're actually extracting via taxpayer-funded programs more than they are contributing into the Social Security and Medicare. But you are a xenophobe and a racist if you even think that illegal immigration isn't good for America, especially during an election year. Okay, so now it's emerging that the propaganda response with establishment figures like we just showed you of Krugman, who accuses anyone that believes immigration is bad as being part of the lumpen proletariat, which Zero Hedge rightfully points out is a Marxist term because these are truly Marxists at the helm. He went on to say, no, AI and automation, for all the changes they bring, won't ultimately take away jobs, and neither will immigrants. Don't join the lumpen commentariat, a play on the lumpen proletariat. Powell, who accuses native-born workers of being lazy and claims that immigration is helping defeat the inflation that his policies unleashed, quote, a big part of the story of the labor market coming back into better balance is immigration returning so that levels were more typical of the pre-pandemic era. And then we have the Congressional Budget Office. The labor force in 2033 is larger by 5.2 million, mostly because of higher net immigration. As a result of those changes in the labor force, we estimate that from 2023 to 2034, GDP will be greater by about 7 trillion and revenue will be greater by about 1 trillion than they would have been otherwise. That's right. So you've got the Fed and you've got the Congressional Budget Office. You have got the government in an election year telling you that illegal immigration is good for the economy and therefore you should vote a certain party and a certain party head if he can make it the distance in 2024. Because illegal immigration is an extremist, that illegal immigration is bad is an extremist xenophobe idea. And you should believe the government when they tell you that illegal immigration is good now and later, even though Americans are losing jobs and getting displaced by these immigrants, which of course are mostly illegal, coming from inflation crushing, wage hammering workers taking our jobs. Oh, did I say that? Sorry, I must be a xenophobe. And so with the election still 9 months away, Expect the topic of how illegal immigration is the greatest thing imaginable for the U.S. to dominate the airwaves of the mainstream legacy media, which is also the most vocal propaganda channel available to the establishment Republicans and establishment Democrats that want status quo and do not want smart laws nor enforcement of our laws already on the books. Now they are going to be out to convince us en masse that millions of Americans, 300 million plus, that these tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens entering our country, thanks to the current border policy, are the best thing to happen to us since sliced bread. And don't worry about the New York City Community Bank Corp and its current failure. Remember, my lesson today, folks, is when the U.S. government tells you that something is actually good, it's actually good. Do not believe your gut. Do not believe common sense. And sure as hell, do not believe in logic or actually doing your own analysis. So here we go. Why investors are worried about New York Community Bancorp. Yahoo Finance this morning. New York Community Bancorp has seen its shares plummet since reporting a surprising fourth quarter loss. They have been downgraded to junk by Moody's credit rating system. But don't worry. Don't worry. People are worried that this might be yet another sign of regional bank failure. Nothing to see here. Don't even worry about that. How dare you worry about that? That just seems really silly. When it comes to concerns about New York NYCB's woes could mean for the regional banking sector, we are told these issues are contained to that bank. These issues are pretty idiosyncratic to the bank with its transition from being a smaller regional bank into a larger one that's under stricter regulatory supervision. Oh, that's what we're supposed to believe. That's what we're supposed to believe. Kind of like back in 2008 when Bernanke told us that back in 2005 when Bernanke told us that there's no housing bubble to go bust. When the National Bureau of Economic Research told us that there is no housing bubble. You mean like that? Yeah, just like that. Because remember, the real pandemic that we're looking at here, folks, is they think that we are stupid. And unfortunately, a lot of us, speaking as a member of the American populace and the American population, as an American worker, as an American citizen, unfortunately, many of us are.